Looks like we're nearly set up with Mega Man 5.
Hello.
That works, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
The reset button is very far away.
He died like once or twice.
Let's have fun. Let's have fun, guys. Let's have fun. I can't believe it was the name of this rainbow whale.
That is when it's past. Good. You want me to read it now? All right, starting in. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Everybody loves Star.
All right, so this is Mega Man 5.
What are you fucking doing?
So we have Ohon, the Darkman, and BJW among the top runners of this game. And they're going to Starman first to get a very important item. Also features probably the best soundtrack in all of Mega Man.
One-ups everywhere.
This game has a very, very high one-up drop rate. Okay, entering Starman fight. So, if you position yourself correctly, you can get full Buster charge shots on him, even though he has his shield up. So they're going to be going for 9 hits and then 1 uncharged hit. Okay, Ohon.
Can we explain that?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Sometimes you can like skip the gravity, so that you just go normal speed up and down instead of slow.
So Darkman caught up because of gravity skip.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, it's 1 in 3.
Okay, so they picked up an item called a Super Arrow, which is going to allow them to bypass many of the obstacles throughout pretty much the rest of the game. It's the reason you go to Starman first. So you'll see Ohon use it right now.
Just a quick mention, guys. Through the tracker alone, we have reached $500,000! And while I'm at it, let's read a donation. $50 from the Blue Magician.
Yeah, they just made that look way too easy.
Yes.
All three of them.
Blue Magician
So
says,
entering Gravity Man himself, you notice that they need to fight this guy a little differently than they do in the refights later. But essentially, right now, it's just use Star Crash.
And he has the same exact pattern every time.
All racers very close to each other.
There's actually very little RNG in this game when it comes down to it.
That's right. A lot of the patterns in this game are very similar. The biggest random elements of this game come down to weapon drops. You have to be able to react. Sometimes you want to pick up a weapon drop or super arrow.
But I think you will see some different arrow usage in this stage. Ohon doesn't quite use the same arrows as the other two.
That's correct.
It's one of the hardest parts to figure out about Mega Man 5 is where to use the arrows, where it's fastest.
So something you'll see them do periodically throughout the run is that they'll clip off the side of a super arrow, and they do that to conserve energy. When you ride on a super arrow, you consume energy. However, you can do this technique to clip off the side of it and get back on to reduce the amount of super arrow energy that you use.
Yeah, and you only need two, or you actually only need one energy to shoot an arrow, and it won't disappear once the energy drains out. It will just, you just can't shoot anymore.
While we got this auto-scroller, can I read a couple donations? I'll take that as a yes.
Oh.
It was a good thing I didn't. Anywho.
Okay, so Ohon is entering the Gyro Man fight. We're going to use Gravity Hold here, but he has to time his Gravity Holds appropriately. If he does it too fast, he'll hit Gyro Man while he's still invincible and waste an energy, which costs a lot of time, but he did it properly.
Yeah.
And BGW did not. So Gyro Man gives you Rush Jet, which is going to help a lot in the Crystal Man stage in certain areas.
Crystal Man stage is very difficult. It's very intensive.
Especially this first screen.
And the checkpoint is really far into the stage, and you use all the arrow energy on the first half.
Yes.
So if you die at the end there, it's just huge time loss.
So this game is relatively well known for its lag management. There's many times throughout the run where there's a lot of enemies on screen or there's a lot of weapons on screen, and the game can lag considerably. So it's definitely you need to get very used to the mechanics of the game to be able to control yourself properly. seen many one-up drops already. So if you do notice, they are collecting the letters, and they're going to need all 8 of the letters that spell out either Rockman 5 or Mega Man 5. And they'll need to get that for beat, which we'll explain later. Ohon easily clearing Crystal Man.
Yeah, no really mistakes from ohon yet. So to reduce a little bit of lag on Crystal Man, they actually get hit intentionally at the very start.
Right, you want to get hit by 3 of the crystal eyes out of 4.
Well, at least 2 of them.
Yeah.
Just to remove them from screen.
So there's...
You might notice on ohon's screen sometimes that it walks intentionally because you actually can't charge up your buster if you're sliding. It just won't charge, so you have to walk sometimes.
So you'll see ohon here, just riding out super arrows. It's very important throughout all the stages to kind of mitigate where you use super arrow. A lot of the routing for this game came around, you know, where specifically you're going to use each super arrow. And sometimes the routes change. Or, sorry, the routes don't change, but where you use the super arrow in each stage has changed over even the past year or so.
So Napalm Man fight is actually not as straightforward as it looks like first time. They actually manipulate his pattern to only shoot missiles to reduce lag. If you like go too close and let him be too close for too long, he starts shooting bombs or lobbing bombs at you instead, and they cause a huge amount of lag. So you want to avoid that, and that's pretty much it on Napalm Man. ohon saved a little bit too little energy, so he has to walk a bit on this stage before he uses them.
He's safe now.
Normally you would have 3 there, which BW will probably have. Yeah, so when you have 3 here, you can just jump up right away.
You might ask why he shot the second one to the left, and it's actually because you want to reduce lag as much as possible. So if you shoot one to the left instead of the right, it basically just reduces the lag from not having an extra weapon on the screen for a little bit of time. So ohon entering Stone Man here. a lot of the bosses in this game don't have, or they're not particularly difficult, but optimizing, making sure that they get hit as soon as possible every time is really, it adds up to a lot of time, and it's definitely something that shows top runners from people that are, they're just like the top runners from everybody else.
Now they get the best weapon in the game. Best weapon in any Mega Man game.
Hands down.
So useful in so many places. No.
So with a precisely timed arrow, Ohon's going to be able to pretty much clear this entire screen and slide under certain enemies so that he can traverse the entire upper train.
Yeah. Sometimes again, the game ends up in a weird state where you just you walk off the arrows instead of clipping off them and flipping back onto them.
Yeah, not much is known why.
Yeah. You can fix it sometimes by shooting an extra arrow or something, but yeah, it just sucks when it happens.
BJW entering the famed chicken room. One of the more technical parts of this game. So you'll see Ohon against Chargeman here. Because of the extra animation of a Power Stone, it's much faster to be able to press pause and reset the animation so that you can get another hit in as soon as his invincibility frames wear out.
Also killing him as close to the corner as possible to reduce lag.
That's right. The flickers that come out of the bosses create lag, so if you can get them near the edge of the stage, like Joga said, you can reduce it.
Very nice fight from BW.
So Waveman is a pretty interesting stage. There's a lot of skips, so we'll see how they go for Ohon. And the charge kick is an interesting weapon. It's not used too much throughout this run, but essentially you have invincibility frames while the weapon is out. And you use the weapon by sliding, obviously.
Okay, here we go.
So let's watch Ohon here. Very, very nice. And we're good. We're good. Yeah. All right. So we'll explain after BJW attempts. Good.
Oh no.
Okay. That's fine. So that's called the bubble skip, the first half of it. And the bubble skip is essentially that you are able to ride up the top of the screen if you're on the bubble at specific points. So you can use super arrow to advance the screen. It's a very precise trick. Failing it costs a lot of time. And then the second one is called the boat skip. And essentially if you place arrows close enough to each other, you can essentially skip the cutscene to get onto the boat. So you can see Ohon is traversing the waters just without the boat, and you can see BJW wasn't able to set it up, so he's on the boat. Honestly, it doesn't save too much time, but it does save a little bit of time, so you can go for it if
So yeah, you have to slide over the cutscene trigger and into the next screen. And you can't touch the water on the first screen before you get in the next screen, because then Mega Man will just automatically jump off screen and you'll soft lock the game and you have to reset. And there's no known recovery at least. But it's fairly safe. It doesn't happen that often. See if Darkman can do it too.
Go. Okay, Darkman got it. Very good.
And
Darkman played it a little risky there with only 2 arrows, but was able to pull it off fine. So we have Ohon just about to enter. Blues
Tiger
one.
Room.
The Tiger Room. BJW not too far behind, and Darkman honestly catching up. Darkman 1 is one of the more technical stages for sure, especially this first room. Your chance of death is pretty high. Crouching Tiger, hidden rush jet. So throughout all of these Darkman and Wily stages, weapon management is a very important thing. You don't get weapon energy back after any of the stages anymore. So there's specific points where certain weapons are going to be used, and especially Super Arrow.
Right. And in all of the Wily stages, there will be an M-Tank somewhere if they don't already have an M-Tank. So they will definitely use as many M-Tanks as they can.
Right.
Just to like, get more weapon energy, or arrow energy, specifically.
Yeah, M-Tank just recovers all of your weapon and health, so it's used specific points.
So they got their first M-Tank in Crystal Man, as you might have noticed earlier, and they're saving it for Darkman 3, where they will use the first one. Let's see.
Darkman 2 is also another scary stage, especially the pit that Ohon is about to traverse.
Yeah, all of these Darkman stages are just really scary. It's just so easy to slip up and lose the run, pretty much.
Certainly.
Yeah, very nice. Well, didn't want that health drop, but we'll take it.
Alright, so Ohon is entering Darkman 2, and this is the first time you'll see Beat throughout the run. Beat is your robotic bird ally, and in Mega Man 5, he attacks the enemy, and it happens to be a very good, or a very fast way to kill a lot of enemies. Darkman 2's weakness happens, or all the Darkmans are weak to Beat, so he chooses to use it against Darkman 2 and Darkman 4.
Yeah, Darkman 2 is normally used to Napalm Bomb, I think it is too. But that's Crystal. Yeah, one of them. It's, however, a lot slower than Beat. So Darkman 3 is definitely my favorite stage, just because of the very cool arrow usage.
So we're going to watch Ohon go for a fairly scary arrow, which he appears to get the timing.
Yeah, no problems there.
And he nailed it. Very good. There's still another very important arrow to get there. Well, there's a few, actually.
Way more scarier, actually.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did it. That's good. That's good. And BJW getting into similar setup and was able to get it. Slightly different setup, actually.
So the scary part about this stage is that you have to do the second arrow too, but the checkpoint is right before the first two arrows. So if you die on the second one, yeah, you have no energy. You have to use Rush Jet or something creative.
It's very slow. Super Arrow is much, much faster. Super Arrow is the fastest way to travel by far. Much faster than sliding or Rush Jet. So if you watch BJW's screen, he'll be fighting Darkman 3. And Darkman 3 has two attacks. One, he jumps in the air and shoots projectiles, which just do damage. But these rings that he shoots at you actually stun you. So it's very terrible to get shot by them. So they try to do their best to just stay near Darkman 3 so that they do that move, but then try to evade so that you don't get stunned.
Darkman 4 is a very hard stage to do optimally, I would say. You basically want to prevent the like falling castle or whatever to stop as many times as possible.
Darkman got the difficult arrow as well. We have a fairly lengthy cutscene here for Ohon. The Darkman 4 fight is fairly straightforward. However, he does dish out a lot of damage to you, so you need to be careful.
Yeah, I think you need to dodge at least one of his attacks.
Yeah.
And then you should be good if Beat behaves.
So the standing is that Ohon is in the lead. BJW is not too far behind. Darkman is roughly, probably a little less than a stage behind. So, you know, the refights, you can definitely make up a lot of time. And certainly, the final fight, you can either play it very risky or safe. So it's still anybody's game.
Yeah, definitely. If one of the other two makes a or just dies or makes a mistake, Darkman will catch up in no time.
Wily 1 and 2 are, there's a lot of death traps. So Ohon going for a very precise arrow. If you place that arrow too high, you will hit the spikes too low and you won't be able to ride the arrow.
Ooh. Rush it, strats.
You can just see the lag slow down.
Scary section coming up.
So this is the Crusher section, and Ohon's going to attempt to do it all in one cycle. It is very scary.
Yeah, basically without stopping at all. Yep.
You got it, you got it. Good.
And the chicken, yeah.
BJW lands the arrow.
Check out our own fight here. If he gets this.
Nice. Okay.
Very nice.
So against the big pets, the enemy that BGW is fighting, if you set it up properly, you can kind of zip up the side of him, and you can hit this boss when.
Yeah, it deals a lot of damage to zip up, so you have to be very careful. It's a little bit finicky with the hitboxes to get off the side. Okay, there we go.
All right, good. So Darkman entering the Crusher section as well. Darkman makes it through. So Wily 2 is an interesting stage. In Mega Man 4 and 5, for whatever reason, the physics don't allow you to just slide, or to jump out of your slide underwater. So they have to be very careful with their slides underwater.
Yeah, they either have to wait until they...
That was a good fight, too.
I missed that.
Very nice, Darkman.
So yeah, underwater they either have to wait until the slide is complete, or they have to cancel it before they jump out of it.
So Ohon is entering the refights, so we'll see the classic fight all the old Mega Man bosses.
Yeah, the Wily machine at the end of the refights is certainly very interesting to watch, but the other fights are just as normal, yes. Already seen them, except for Starman, which you have his weakness this time.
Yes. So. So for the refights, they're able to kind of spend the weapon energy as much as they need. They only need a few weapons going into the final stretch of the game. When they reach Gravity Man, they need to use Star Crash in specific patterns so that they have enough for both Gravity Man and for Wily Press, which we'll see pretty soon. So Darkman is finishing up on Circling Q9 with also a good fight.
Very nice.
And a little funky.
So yeah, ohon is coming up on Gravity Man in a little bit here. I'll try to explain that.
The final fight can be dangerous, so still, it can certainly be up to anybody to take this home.
So when you fire the Star Shield, like you shoot it from yourself, it drains less energy than if you have it on you when you crash into something. So they want to shoot it at Gravity Man at all times in the refight and not just crash into him.
It does the same damage either way. So, watch ohon here.
That is pretty tricky to do.
Very, very.
You have to pretty much count how many times the press goes back and forth, and then you know when to jump up. You actually don't want to have to do that. It just compensates for bad RNG pretty much.
Yeah. So if you see, he had just the perfect amount of energy. Fantastic fight. He does need to be conscious of his super arrow usage because he needs it in the next Wily Machine fight.
Yeah, you can't jump off forever.
See BJW entering the same fight.
Yeah, so the Wily Press can either go back and forth 3 times, 5 times, or 7 times. And so yeah, you count 6 to 6, and then you know you can jump up. But it's actually faster if it just goes 3 times every time. But that never happens.
ohon is facing Wily Machine 1, which is actually a very tough fight. It gives you a variety of patterns. ohon taking an E-Tank for safety going into the final stretch. Get ready for time on ohon when he defeats this boss. Now, B is a very interesting mechanic at this point. He's attempting to have B seek out Wily while he's both on-screen and off-screen to get hits and to also track him so that he knows where Wily's going to wind up. It's a very precise movement of jumps and positioning for each hit.
So yeah, beat will only go after Wily if you're standing completely still with Mega Man, pretty much. So you can't like shoot or jump or anything like that. You have to stand still, and then beat will go for Wily.
Get ready for time on ohon. Darkman finishing up with a nice Wily press as well. So, BJW entering the capsule fight. Like we said, Beat is very, very finicky, and there's sometimes Beat will do not what you want him to, and he'll spend weapon energy when he doesn't actually cause any damage. And they do their best to position themselves so that doesn't happen. BJW going for a risky strat.
Oh. So So if you see him, so if you have B tracking him and he goes down when he has 6 or less, oh wait, what is it? 6 or health, 6 or less health, then you can switch to Buster and double hit him with
Time on
Buster.
BJW. Darkman close behind, finishing up.
Ah, close.
And that's it. It was a great race. Great job, everybody.
That's a pretty insane time on ohon, by the way.
Yes. I'd like to thank the Rainbow Whale for making this possible.
All right, everyone, that was Mega Man 5. Let's hear it once more for the Darkman, BJW, and ohon. Coming up next, Mega Man Block keeps rocking on with Mega Man 7. But first, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
You are watching BGDQ 2015. My name is Seth Bling, and I just started my shift here as host, so I'm excited for that. If you don't know what Awesome Games Done Quick is, it's a once-a-year marathon held in January, one of the Games Done Quick marathons, featuring members of the Speed Demos Archive and Speedrun Live communities. SDA proudly hosts speedruns of over 1,000 games, that's Speed Demos Archive, with forums containing speedrun planning, marathon discussions, and Speed Demos Archive welcomes gamers old and new alike. You can follow them on Twitter at SDA Speedruns and visit the website at speeddemosarchive.com. Speedruns Live is the best site to race video games online against other players of all skill levels. They're also hosting a short series of races starting on January 17th titled Get Yourself Speedrunning. You can go to their front page, speedrunslive.com, for more information and to watch a variety of speedrun streams. So that was, you just watched Mega Man 5. Upcoming we have Mega Man 7, and then we're going to move on to the Mega Man X games, X and X3. So very exciting. Over the course of Mega Man 5, we did get some really awesome donations. So let me catch up on some of those. First one here is from Proton John. $150 from Proton John. Says, "Yo Dave, we're all at Brent and Joe's place watching you run and cheering you on. Great run so far, and awesome job kicking off the Mega Man block. Make us proud and come back to Calgary a champ." So thank you very much, Proton John. We got a $200 donation from Funk Royale. Says, "I waited all night to donate during Mega Man, the game which means so much to me. Thanks to this game series, I was able to meet some of the best people on the internet. Keep on running, jump and shoot, man. Greetings from Germany and the Pug community. AGDQ, hype!" Hype? All right. I don't know, I didn't hear a lot of hype out there. AGDQ, hype? Okay. We got a $250 donation from Mad Scientist 032. Says, "Hey guys, just wanted to drop a couple $100 because Mega Man is awesome and cancer is not. I've had too many people to be taken away from me because of cancer. My heart goes out to everybody who's affected by this horrible